It's always great to come back to already play the tournament and did so successfully, right? It's obviously a very different week. We don't have COVID rules. Everybody's here present. We don't have those Zoom media calls. Personally, my life has changed quite a bit as well, right? Kelly was pregnant with Kepa early stages of the pregnancy when we came, and we're a little bigger family now with two young ones. So it's good to see that after a great win, things have improved so much, and both on and off the golf course for me.
4 wins on the season, and as I mentioned, FedEx Cup leader. Just talk a little bit about the stretch here just with these last 2 tournaments of the year.
Well, point coming to the playoffs is to give yourself the best chance to get to East Lake on the #1 spot. So I've done a pretty good job so far. Hopefully this week I can have a good performance like I did last time and earn it and clinch it and give myself the best shot for the win. It's been a great year so far, so hopefully I can end it off the way I started it.
From the outside looking in, like the way things are structured now with getting into the designated events next year and whatnot, that the new structure has sort of shined a brighter light on how competitive it is out there and how hard it is to be at the top of the PGA Tour. I was just wondering if it feels like that being on the inside.
I think from the outside, without really experiencing what we experience as players, you're never really going to get the full scoop on how difficult it really is to be out here. And the more we can do to show the elite level of some players is pretty special. I'm pretty sure you can go down the stats of 51st to 55th in the FedEx Cup and consider they've had a pretty darn good year, right? They're incredible golfers, yet they can't make it to the end of the playoffs. Like it happens in many other sports, but we carry what we've done all year around. So I'm glad it's showing how difficult it truly is, because it is. But I can tell you that it probably is more difficult and more challenging and more competitive than what you can probably see or imagine in all these players' heads, just because it truly is. It's an elite number of players that can call themselves PGA Tour players, and the elite of that elite will be making it to this week, and a more selective group to next week, right? And even more selective to Ryder Cup. So it's even within the greats, there's some little divisions of great players. So yeah, it's extremely competitive.
The DP World Tour came out with its schedule for next year. Did you get a chance to look at that at all? No. Well, then in general,
we haven't even, up past East Lake, I haven't really thought about anything right now. So,
in general, when you look at as probably the preeminent guy who will bounce back between both tours, how many events for you is too many events on like the annual calendar year?
It's hard to say. I think it all depends on the scheduling and how those events are spaced out. My fall the last few years has looked pretty much the same. I've, go to Wentworth, Spanish Open, Dubai. So I wouldn't be able to tell you an exact number. It really depends on the year. I've been comfortable the last few years playing around 22, 23 events, but I can tell you I'm one of those players that wishes we could have an actual off-season, right? And with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour coming together closer, I'm hoping I get to a point where maybe November, December, there's no events for me to play. Just I can be home and be dad and earn an off-season like basically almost every other athlete in this country can do.
Jon Rahm gets his first round underway Thursday at 1:38 p.m. Eastern Time alongside the man who's #1 in the world and #2 in the FedEx Cup standings, Scottie Scheffler.